Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 34 of Direwolf20's Space Engineer series. I'm just, doing stuff, having fun. I'm setting up a gravity generator. Hooray, because gravity is good. Let's try this thing out. Oh, that's the wrong direction. Let's fix that. That is the opposite of where I want to go. Let's see, gravity generator, we're going to make this guy's acceleration -1g. Oh, much better. Cool. I like it. So I am still building my capital ship. So this is part 2 of the capital ship build. What I've got thus far, in case you guys weren't paying attention last episode, is a pretty fancy bridge, which I'm proud of. I added a door and a sensor between episodes. I think this bridge is cool. Yeah. So I can jump in here, I can fly the ship around. Oh yeah. It's still attached to my main base. Yes, it's definitely boxy rooms and whatnot, but I'm going to try and make the outside of the ship look a little better. We'll see if I accomplish that mission or not. But what else do we have? Plenty of stuff. We've got a Stargate room that also has some shield generators and some jump drives. Should probably get lights in these rooms or something so that it looks better, but we'll take care of fancying it up, don't worry. We've also got a storage room, and I had a reactor there. I don't know where it went. I could not tell you what happened to that azimuth fusion reactor, but we're going to put it back right now. Ta-da! Now we've got a reactor. So those are those 2 rooms, and then the remaining 2 rooms are probably going to be for air pressurization. So we want an oxygen room, some gyroscopes, a couple other things probably back here. That'll be responsible for doing cool stuff. Maybe some hydrogen and oxygen storage. Not sure how much I'm going to need hydrogen, but can't hurt. And then this room here will be a docking bay. I'm probably going to knock out one of these walls and make it into like a kind of like let ships in and out kind of deal. I haven't entirely decided how that's going to work out, but we'll get to it. So let's see. What do I want to do right this minute is a good question. Do I want to encase the ship in armor blocks? Probably not a bad idea. So let's do this. Let's get a few things going. First off, let's get our mirror back. There we go. And we can extend, not quite that far, but yeah, it should be good. Oh, no, not you. It's the problem with building a little bit too close to a space station. Sometimes you build on the space station. Okay, that looks good. And then what if we... Oops, that was supposed to be a left click. Not terrible looking for a hallway, right? Though I should probably reorient these guys so that they look a little bit better. So like this kind of thing is what I'm probably going to go for. So let's do this, actually. Can I run this down here? It's a little bit hard to shift, control, click, and move at the same time. And we'll redo like this, probably. Yeah, this will look good. Just do this one line at a time, then it should be a little bit easier. So this will kind of be the interior hallway for my ship that'll lead out to all the other stuff. Right, let's get this side done because I derped up and didn't have mirror mode on. Alright, so this will be like the interior of my ship kind of deal. I like that. Debating if I like the full-blown pressure of 1G or if I want to bring that shield generator down to maybe half a G. Not terrible. Nice. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. I'll probably color some of this stuff here too in a bit, but for now I'm just getting the basics up and running. So that looks cool. All right, let's get oxygen running through this ship. So I'm thinking, not that I really need 4 oxygen generators, but maybe it would just look a little bit cooler, and it's not like they're hard to make or expensive or anything. And then we're gonna want some oxygen tanks, obviously. Now those were tanks, so I want actually generators here. That should look good, right? Or do I just want 2? 2 should actually be plenty. But with regards to tanks, let's get the heliums one down first, because those are the most expensive, or largest, I would say. And then we'll get some oxygen tanks placed probably here. Should we do 8 of them? Does that look neat? Yeah, that should be cool. Let's see, what else was I gonna have in here? A bunch of gyros for sure. So let's get some gyroscopes. $30 sound about right? I don't know, hopefully. Yeah, and we'll just test it and see if 30 gyroscopes is enough, and if not, then we'll just add more, obviously. So we might want a few more things in this room at some point, but for now, before we go too crazy with that, let's handle some tubing. So we'll want, first off, these things are against the wall, so that should be good. Oops. Conveyor here. And here, right? Yes. The best thing about building in creative mode, obviously, is it's easy to fix your mistakes, of which I make many. So that'll be that. And then underneath these guys, let's make sure first off that these guys are all actually attached to the wall here. Just gonna put those down as a temporary thing to hold them, because I need to break the blocks underneath them, and it would be bad if they just started drifting away. Wouldn't be terrible, but it would not be ideal either. So you guys should stay in position now. Right, and then we can put, we're going to want conveyors here, obviously, for air tightness. That should be good for those guys. And then a couple under here as well. Thinking here-ish? Is that where the, yes. And then probably here. Perfect. That'll connect these guys all up. And these guys. And again, not entirely sure what's up with that flickeriness, but we'll figure it out. And 1, 2, 3, this should link everything up. Nice. So let's do this. Get out of here. Put the floorboards back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we should have oxygen going on now, right? So you should be on auto refill. The oxygen hydrogen system should be able to run. I thought in creative mode I wouldn't need to put ice in these things, but maybe I do. Yeah, all the conveyor lights are green, so we should be cool. Well, they're definitely not filling up with oxygen, so let's see. I think it's, what is it? There's a thing I can hit. Shift F10. Item type. Ice. Amount. 10,000. Hello. That's a large piece of ice. I think I just click to spawn it, and there we go. Cool. Then I can pick it up. That was Shift F10, by the way. So we'll put 5,000 in here. Like I said, didn't think I needed to put ice in creative mode, but maybe I'm doing something funny. And I guess I could probably hide my gyroscopes, because that's going to get annoying fast. The oxygen tanks and stuff I'll leave in here for now, because I'm just trying to get them to work, right? So maybe I just have to give them... Let's make sure we make everything ours. It might be an ownership issue. I wasn't going to do that till I was done, but we'll see. Does that get things going? I'll see. I'll poke around with it for a minute. They're green, so that's a good sign. Still not converting your ice, though. Oh, no, wait, they're running. See, oxygen tank filled. Nice. Hydrogen tanks are probably also filling. Cool. All right, so they don't need ice, but they did need ownership. So that was the issue. So I guess I can probably take the ice out of here. Nice. All right, so they're filling up. Let's do the computer for the oxygen management. So let's do the automatic LCD computer now. Let's go over here. I'm going to put the computers in the Stargate room, I think I decided. So I'm thinking, how should we do this? I can probably just kind of put them wherever. So let's get a programmable block and a timer. We're definitely going to want those two. And we should also make an LCD panel. And most of my LCDs will probably wind up in my bridge type of deal, but we'll see. So we'll put one here, and I'm thinking the timer block can sit on top of it, but we want to rotate it so that that thing's there. Cool. Edit. Browse workshop. We want the automatic LCD script. There it is. Check code, okay. And then we want to name this program dash auto LCD. We'll name this timer dash auto LCD. When you have a big ship like this, you definitely kind of want to be a little bit good about your naming conventions for things so that it's easy to figure out like what's up. Set this guy to start, trigger now, start your timer over and over again. Cool. And then just as a test, we'll put an LCD here like this. We will name him LCD, edit private text, oxygen. And then let's just do all transfer to me. Yes. Nice, oxygen tanks, cool. All right, so we got hydrogen tanks, we've got oxygen, and I think once I add room pressurization, we should be good. So let's actually try that real quick. Let's try and add a room pressurizer for the oxygen to, probably the easiest thing to hit first would be the oxygen room, right? So let's put it up high, like up here. Let's do air vent. All right, so let's try out the conveyor air vent. I don't think I've played with this yet, but I think it's a combination conveyor block and air vent. So that's green. That's cool. Let's make sure that this guy, now it should be yellow because it's not a pressurized room anymore. Let's make sure that we've got this here running down here. I guess the best place to attach this thing would be... like so. Is that all good? Yeah, it looks nice. Now if I seal off this room, that should go green, and then we should start getting oxygen flowing into here, in theory. Once I transfer owner to me. Good, everything's me so far. Yeah, look at that, room pressure building up. Perfect. So I'm just gonna pop outside real quick, which will of course depressurize the room. But that's all right, I wanna make sure my LCD is updating properly. And then what we'll eventually do is have this LCD, we'll probably have one here. So you can see the conveyor air vent is what it's called, but we're gonna rename that guy. We will name him Vent Dash Oxygen Room. Cool? Nice. That is cool. Hydrogen tanks filling up, oxygen tanks filling up, and then we've got the vent for the oxygen room. We're gonna add vents to the rest of the rooms. Let's run our conveyor system throughout the heart of the ship first, though. So, if we pop down underneath... I did have that gravity generator there, didn't I? He's probably going to be in my way. So let's remove him. I can put him back later. Oh, right, and the sensors, too, are in the way. That's okay. I think what we'll do then is... That's kind of why I did the 2 blocks. Let's put the gravity gen back. I had it in the center of the ship for a reason, because I wanted it to be nice and centered. Alright, that should go here. Gravity generator, show block and terminal off. And don't forget, of course, to set your acceleration to -0.5. So inside the rooms, we can probably stick close to the thing, but for here, we'll go down a level. And we'll run everything 1 lower so that we can have sensors and the gravity gen and anything else we want to run into. You are surprising me right now. Oh, I see what the problem is. This thing's no longer attached to the ship. I'm like, why isn't that? Oh, it wasn't attached to the ship anymore. Durr. Dire derp yet again. All right, so I want right through the center of the ship is where we're going to run our conveyors to all the different rooms that we have here. So we'll run like 1 off in this direction for whatever we're going to have here. I don't even know if we're going to need anything here, but because it's going to be just the docking room, so I don't know if we're going to actually need it. Maybe we'll have like connectors in there so that ships that dock in this docking station can hook up to the connector and actually, you know, do cool stuff. But for now, let's run this off in this direction. And I know we're going to want to run this guy here, so let's drop him down 1. It's a lot of fun building in creative. And we're going to want to pressurize the bridge at least, so we're definitely going to want that as well. Cool. Looking good. For now, I'll just leave a few holes here and there so that I can get in and out easily. Let's get this room pressurized, probably. Where should we have an air vent in here? Not that it's terribly important where it goes. Maybe in the floor here, because that would be easy to tap into the existing line. You just do a conveyor and then the vent. The vent does matter how it's rotated, by the way. Make sure the vent side is upward. And we'll claim ownership. Make sure everything is ownership me. And we're pressurizing the room. Nice. Look at that. Very cool and easy to do. So the nice thing about these rooms being one block apart from each other is I only have to have a conveyor here for the air vents. So if I do that, I decided to remove this one. I didn't like how this turned out. I didn't want it in the floor. And after I put one in the docking bay, it was all the more obvious the way I wanted it to work out. So we'll do vent reactor and seal this up. So we've got a conveyor here in between the two rooms, and then we put an air vent on either side of the conveyor, and it pressurizes both rooms. Pretty cool, right? I thought so. So let's put this here, and that should be pressurized. Cool. And then we're going to make sure everything belongs to me. Yes. And now we've got several vents. Right? So oxygen, docking bay, Stargate, and reactor. We're going to want a fifth one eventually. That'll be the bridge. But let's go check on the status of these guys. They should all be pretty well pressurized, except for the Stargate room, which I just went into. See, look, the reactor bay is, or the reactor room is now, pressurizing, and the Stargate's going to pressurize. Now, eventually, we'll probably have air vents also for the main walkway between all the rooms. We might have a, oxygen room. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Also, oh, there's a conveyor there. Okay, I was going to say, how is this room airtight? But that's why. Neat, right? All right, so the ship is oxygenated. Just want to get the bridge as well. Nice. Pressurized bridge. Just name this guy vent bridge, and we're good to go. Make sure it's mine. Cool. All right, we're in pretty good shape. All right, I think the last thing I want to work on this episode before we get too much further is an airlock. Now, for the airlock, I don't want to use sensor doors because we don't want the airlock opening by mistake. So that'll be a manually controlled door, right? So this guy will be open and closed manually. Cool. And I don't want to vent this entire oxygen area, so we'll have just like a really small room, like right here pretty much. And this will be the back of my ship, and that's where I'll be able to get in and out from. I'm thinking I might want this to be the other way around, though. So let's rotate this dude. Yeah, that'll look better. So from outside the ship, I can easily get in here, right? This will let me into this little room. Now, do I want a pressure vent in here? I haven't decided how I want to handle this room too much yet. I mean, a vent might not be a terrible idea. So let's run just in case. So we're going to want that to be here. Yeah, this doesn't probably have to be a conveyor. And then we'll put our, oops. There we go. Vent airlock. Cool. So that should pressurize very quickly, right? And now, as a result, I should be able to pop in here. You know what I could do? Ooh. This is something I've actually never done before. But I wouldn't mind trying it out, because I've never done it before. Let's try it. Let's do this. It's just something that's never occurred to me. Let's put a sensor here, right? So we should name this guy door inner airlock. And we should name this guy door outer airlock. Cool. And what I'll do, let's show on HUD for a moment. The 5 in every direction should be good for default. Door, where is inner airlock? I'm just going to say when the player is not here, close it, but not open it, right? So that as I go in, it'll automatically close behind me, but it won't automatically open as I approach. So manual open, automatic close. Ooh, I like that. That is neat. All right, that is very cool. I approve. I just want to make sure. Yeah, perfect. That is very good. All right, and I'm going to do the same over here. So I think it's here. So yeah, the basic plan is I come in from the outside, right? So like I'm flying into the ship. And all right, once I get inside, the door should automatically close right behind me. And this room should become repressurized. Good. And then I can hit this door to get inside. And again, automatically closes behind me. Don't have to worry about reclosing it. I like that a lot. So no accidentally opening airlocks, but definitely closing automatically behind you. That is cool. And this area should be pressurized as well now because I put a vent here. Nice. So just to give you guys an idea of why I like using the extreme interior lights as opposed to the normal ones, this is the max radius of a normal interior light. So you need a lot of lights in a ship. And this is a small hallway. If I were to put a normal light, say, actually I'll just put it in this room as a demonstration. I have my character lamp turned off. If I were to just put it in here, right? So like on the ceiling, for example. That's at radius 2, I think, which is the default. Now if we bump it up to radius 10, and the intensity is just how bright it is. See, like it barely hits the floor here, right? But if we were to use the extreme interior light and bumped this guy up to say radius, yeah, 30 should be good. See, that does a good job of lighting up the room. I like it. And I don't think that that light will leak out here, right? Because it's blocked. So let's remove this guy. Yeah, so even though that light in there is pretty bright, let's bump it up just for testing purposes. I'm going to move away from this door. Let's turn our extreme interior light to like... Okay, so it kind of bleeds through. That's all right. We'll just make this 30-ish, and that should be fine. Because, I mean, we're going to want lighting, obviously, throughout the ship. But, yeah, that looks good. All right, let me get lights everywhere else, too. All right, guys. So, I think we've made some good progress here thus far. I'm going to have to shrink up the text on this thing, apparently, having so many things on here. Let's bring this font size down to like 0.7. And yeah, that looks good, right? Very cool. Even a little bit more room. So we've got lighting throughout all the rooms here. And if we pop into these rooms, we should also have lighting in here. Thank you, mirror mode, for that. And I am calling this a pretty cool ship interior, right? I mean, there's probably a few things we need to add still for it to be like a fully functional interior of the ship. But at the very least, you know, we're good. So I think the remaining steps, I didn't think it would take this long to focus on the ship, but we're probably going to have a part 3 of the capital ship build. But I think we want to put an outer shell on it, right? So that, you know, there's something outside the ship protecting it from harm. So some kind of armor protection around the outside. And then we'll probably want to have thrusters, obviously, so that the ship can move around. But other than that, we're getting pretty darn close to being done with this build. For now, though, I think it's time to wrap up the episode, so we will come back next time, finish up, hopefully, the capital ship. It does take a while to build these things, but I think it's well worth the effort. And then, like I said, we'll get it into the survival world one way or another, and kind of go from there. For now, Direwolf20 signing off. Probably want to lighten this room there-ish. And take it easy.